I'm Reese Barnhart. I'm a 2021 graduate from St. Mary's Central High School. I was a two-time All-State football player, state champion in football, and four-time state champ in wrestling, four-time All-American at the University of Mary, and a one-time national champ. St. Mary's does an excellent job of holding the kids to a high standard. And I think that high standard translates into college, especially when there's not other people kind of making sure you're doing the right things, that we've instilled those characteristics or those habits that you can be successful outside of St. Mary's and in the real world.
I think it's really cool to look back and just kind of reminisce on memories, and also know that my faith has been a part of my life ever since I did start preschool and kindergarten, especially now that I am a senior, knowing that I can take that into my life. It's really cool.
I really appreciate how relatable the academy has been with all the teachers, and I'm learning a lot about my faith and obviously the skills that I need to, after graduation.
I'm ready to do those big things because my teachers inspire me, and the other people in my school inspire me and my friends.
I'm Carissa Schnell. I teach 6th grade at St. Mary's Academy. I also have a son, Harrison, who's a freshman up at St. Mary's Central High School. My husband is from Dickinson. He graduated from Trinity. When we went to that first in-service, President Vedder got up there, and then one of the first things that I heard him say was that we are unapologetically Catholic. That just reassured me, because of course we'd been through a lot of changes and a lot of big decisions, and that was what I needed to hear, that this is where we need to be.
I am Paulette Tescher. I have taught for Light of Christ for 39 years, and since my retirement, I've been subbing for 3.5 years.
I'm Karen Miller. I've been teaching at Light of Christ School for 35 years, and I've been enjoying every year.
I'm Marilyn Miller. I've been teaching at Light of Christ at St. Mary's High School for 28 years, and it has been a blessing and a joy.
I'm Sarah Miller. I've been teaching with Light of Christ for 12 years, and I am married into the Miller family. I am married to the younger brother, Mike Miller. I can't say enough nice things about their parents. Paul and Joyce are amazing people.
They're probably both the most caring people I know. And I think that also was taught to us, and I think that is kind of a basis for a teacher, is caring for your students.
And I truly believe that God has a plan for every one of us, and His plan was for us to be educators. I feel like I touched a lot of hearts, little ones.
We have a lot of kids that come back after they graduate and come visit us and visit their elementary schools, and so you cannot place anything lightly on developing those relationships with kids.
Growing up through Cathedral, St. Mary's, I've been able to make really, really meaningful relationships. I think that the smaller class sizes, and you just get to know kind of everybody at the school. It's been awesome having that support.
I think the substitutes are pretty nice, and I think Father Holcutler's pretty funny too. I'm thankful for that the janitors that they can clean up our stuff.
We had bounced around all over for military life, and he ended up out in Ohio, in Cincinnati, after he retired from the military. And there's a lot of great things happening, but not to the extent of being firm in our faith and having a really solid foundation. And I'm not kidding when I say that I've researched every Catholic high school, Kansas up to North Dakota, out to Idaho, because we knew we wanted to get back closer to our family. And I kept coming back to Light of Christ schools. I was looking for something that's just this organic experience with our Catholic faith. That it's not just these structured activities that we can just check the box and say that we did. This is who we are.
So I was skeptical when this whole process started, and I didn't know if it was going to be the best for the students, best for the teachers. But now that we've come full circle, it's like it is the best thing Light of Christ could have done. And I know there were setbacks and tough times to go through it, but they kept pushing through it, and we have this wonderful Light of Christ system. We're all accredited, and we're developing relationships with students and with our God.
Very humbled by the truth that I see from my little 4 and 5-year-olds in front of me when we do our prayer times, when we have our faith formation, how truly they understand that Jesus is truly present with us.
When we decided to be teachers, we thought, okay, we're in a Catholic school. Let's teach our students what we've learned. But on the other hand, too, I've learned some things as well.
I teach science, and there's sometimes out there that misconception of science and religion don't blend. It's so awesome to see that, yeah, it does. They both are determined to find the truth.
I always am a firm believer that parents are the first people to teach the faith to their own children, but then I was the person that was reinforcing what was being taught at home and maybe going above and beyond to help out parents with some of those faith ideas. But I think the number one thing was just helping kids build a relationship with Jesus.
I like all the teachers.
They teach you about Jesus, and they love you, and the saints help you to be like what you can be like in your future life.
There's a lot of extra time you're allowed to go spend with Jesus.
When I learn about God, it makes me want to be like him, and when we learn about the saints, it helps me to have a visual person of who I want to be.
I did not know St. Patrick so well, and now I know St. Patrick better than my mom and dad.
They offer confessions every single day after school, so if you did something bad, well.
When we toured, they welcomed him in right away. He walked out of there completely on fire, ignited about his faith, academics, sports, this whole prospect of just high school life. Shannon gave him a St. Mary's t-shirt, and she wrapped it up, and it had that little tag on it that says, "On your way to becoming a saint." We get back to Ohio, and he hung that on his door, and he still has it hanging in his bedroom. On your way to becoming a saint. And he is.
It's probably going to help me all through my life.
Kids having the opportunity to play sports, have nice equipment, travel, and get those types of things paid for is cool to see. The fact that we have the funding and the resources to do those things is really cool, especially at a private school. I wish I would have appreciated it more while I was in high school.
Thank you for donating to our school, because without you guys, we wouldn't have this beautiful chapel, and sports would be a lot more difficult to have all of our gear and play all of our games. So I really appreciate that, because being able to play sports has definitely helped me grow as a person, and being able to spend time in this chapel has definitely set up my faith for me to continue.
There is no place like Light of Christ.